What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, back with some more Demon Bluff, and we are going to hop back into Endless Mode. 7 saves in a row is our current streak. I think there should also be a, record of your... There's probably, like, a highest score, but I'd also like to see longest streak, though... Could be demoralizing if you have like a really long streak and then lose it, I'm sure. We have got a pretty... Never mind. So, because I stopped after the last recording, the village reset here, I thought it was going to be a tough one with Lilith. Instead, it's a tough one with Puka and Shaman. And Drunken Doppelganger. And 2 outcasts. Okay, this is still going to be a toughie. Ooh, yeah, Doppelganger Shaman... This could be tough. Evils are not adjacent to each other. So either that means that there is an evil in 2 or 9, or this is just good information. I mean, this could be a drunk, or it could be Plague Doctor Corrupted, but this is like really good info in terms of how we'd have to place other pairs and things. No, oh, Poet. Poet, not, and you're like kind of saying the same thing but different. This is Poet, not a chef or whatever it's called in this game, but no evils adjacent to me. Well, interestingly, yeah, I mean, this could all track. Can we get another Poet? I was gonna say, we do get another Poet, and with Doppelganger and Shaman, they could all be real. Interesting. Yeah, Poet's kind of tricky because it's like very different information across these 3 poets. Quite a little limerick we have here. Shaman is 2 cards away from closest evil. Well, these actually do all fit within the same world. Let's figure out what this next poet has to say. Now, Puka is 1 card away from closest evil. So, oh, we have Puka. We got Puka, y'all. So, the only way that 2 of these are evil is if we have the Doppelganger. No, not the Doppelganger. The Drunk. The Drunk. 1 could be Puka poisoned, but only the Poet on the end could be Puka poisoned. This one or this one. I am the original baker. Well, our information might start to dry up here, or if our information does not start to dry up, that will really finger number 8, who could potentially be our Puka. You were a poet? You were a poet? So, Doppelganger, Shaman... I have a different idea. Puka poisoned. You were not. No, but you aren't Puka poisoned. So you probably aren't Puka poisoned unless it's coming specifically from right here. But I think that clears 8. Learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. Okay. You could be the Puka. Puka is 1 away from the closest evil, not adjacent to each other. I cannot quite marry that. Oh, Poet. Poet. So, Shaman created. Shaman... Well, no, because Shaman is 2 away from the closest evil. No evil adjacent to me. I was trying to think. Could we have... I don't know about I was a poet. So, the way that we could have 4 poets is Doppelganger created 1, a poet... Shaman created 1, and then the shaman pretending to be a poet. That could be our 4 poets. This one is less likely to be that, especially considering... Let's see if we find another Baker pass. All right, there's a Plague Doctor, and then there is the final Baker. You did not catch the Baker, but that is not enough alone to make you suspect. These pieces of information are at odds with each other. And these pieces of information are at odds with each other. So I don't love your information here, Scout. This is I'm sure there's a lot. It's just tricky because there's all poets that are saying a lot of different things. I mean, I feel like this one's really good. Because if there's any poet, so this could be the minion too. That was one other thing. Sorry, this is I mean, first game in a new video. A little bit of waking up to do. I feel relatively on. I just recorded the last video. A little bit tired after that one though. I mean, your brain needs to rest a little bit. Maybe I should have grabbed some water. But yeah, just kind of feeling like overloaded with information right now. Puka's one card away from the closest evil. Well, that really mitigates the puka, so that's good. If the puka, I feel like the puka can't be here because the baker passed. So where could the puka be? That's the trick, is placing the puka. The puka will never hop on a baker claim late in the game. The puka... And then I don't think we have a drunk. I think we almost like definitionally don't have a drunk unless the plague doctor is actually evil and we do have a drunk. Yeah, I guess that's always possible. But we do have a plague doctor corruption. So I guess that's the same as having a drunk. This druid could just be used to take a look at the plague doctor though. I kind of feel like we do have a plague doctor. And I'd rather find out if we have a drunk. I could check here. And these two. I think that that's a good shout. No outcasts. So you could be the doppelganger. And I think that that actually might confirm you as the doppelganger, or we will find that this has to make the druid bad later. The doppelganger, you're good. Where's our bad info? No evils adjacent to me. I feel like this might be my evil team. Number 2 is not corrupted. So no evils adjacent to you. That doesn't mean you're good. It actually might mean that you're evil. But it does mean that you're good. If you're not corrupted, unless this plague doctor, I mean, we just have to lock in the plague doctor is good. Right now I'm thinking that it could be poet plus scout. But, wait, no, if this poet is lying, then that means that there's another evil adjacent to them. Isn't this poet actually just always good? Because how could there be 2 evil poets? There couldn't be unless this is the drunk, this is plague doctor corrupted, this is correct, and this is the evil team. Oh, what a silly little poem we have found. So, and then how is this one created though? No, I was having this one is created by the shaman, but that's not actually how the shaman works, right? The shaman can't... The shaman can't create a villager if there's no initial villager for that to be. So I don't think these can be evil together, because the only way that a poet is a demon is if the surrounding poets are not real poets. And one of them has to be, I mean, we have a shaman. The only double claim on the whole board is poet. So one of these has to be created by the shaman, which means it can't contain our puka. So I think I have to walk that back. I think I have to maybe consider that this could be our puka. So if this is corrupted info, I think this... Well, it's not corrupted info. So you're good. Evils are not adjacent to each other. And we just play like the numbers game and say that this druid is probably evil with the scout. And this is really the only other misinfo. But then where's the plague doctor? The plague doctor could be on the second baker. Plague doctor on the second baker. Doppelganger specifically here. Yes. Doppelganger here, telling real info. Created by shaman so that it can get puka poisoned. I think this is it. Puka? No, scout. Huh. Wow. Is it some funkiness with the baker? I still really do not trust the druid. Maybe I should have started there. I think this one's got me. I think we're resetting the streak. So, I don't fully understand how the baker works, I'll be honest. But there's a chance that... No, but one of the poets has to be the minion. One of the poets just has to be the minion. Evils are not adjacent to each other, but that would mean that they are adjacent to each other. It has to be that this one is the minion then? That's the only one that makes sense, is the minion. Because if this is the minion, that would mean that evils are adjacent to each other. But this also says puka is one card away from the closest evil. So right now I have this as my plague doctor corrupted. I think that makes the most sense. This is plague doctor corrupted. This is evil. This information is good, and then it's the druid. I think I'm picking the druid no matter what. I think it could feasibly be this, but wait, no, because this will never be the puka. Wait, but if this is the puka, that doesn't work. Oh, but you can't be the puka because there's no evils adjacent to you. Unless you weren't actually a poet, but you passed. You passed your baker. Well, you could be evil. But this baker, I don't think, can be mechanically sat next to a puka. I don't think they can be next to a puka. I think that baker has to be real and legit because it passed on its bakership. The only other thing... Well, I don't see another baker. So it's not like the baker could be the duplicate and the baker can't be... What's it called? The doppelganger. Baker can't be a drunk. The scenario where none of the... Where this also contained the demon was demon, minion, doppelganger, and the shaman, but we said that doesn't make sense. So what if it's somehow demon, minion, doppelganger, poison, but we flipped over this one first, so it's not corrupted. Yeah, I don't see that making sense. Let's try to figure out a world where the puka is one away from the closest evil. I don't have it. I don't have it. So where could the puka be? The puka, as far as I know, and these are just for puka, puka cannot be here. As far as I know. Plague Doctor, I think, doesn't have to exist. The Plague Doctor doesn't have to exist. Okay. Follow me here for a second, because I think I figured something out. If the I'm off it just as quickly as I found it. I'm off it again. But let's just hear me out. Number 2 is not corrupted. Okay. This could be the puka. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think, wait, maybe it's not true. Maybe a demon can only disguise as a villager. Always disguises as a unique villager. Cannot double claim a good character. As opposed to the shaman, a minion could disguise as an outcast. It has the word outcast there. Puka can never be a plague doctor. So where is this little Pookie? Let's show where it can't be. That's what we were doing before we got distracted. It can't be the plague doctor or the scout because we checked there already. It can't be sat next to the original baker. I don't believe. I really don't believe. I don't think it can. I don't think I can place it because I don't think it can be a poet, and I don't think it can be a baker. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't think the puka... I don't think a demon can disguise itself as a baker to mimic bakering. If it can, then it could just as easily be either of these two. And it seems really tough to figure out regardless. I have two things saying that evil are not adjacent to each other, and one thing saying that evils are adjacent to each other. So I think between the 1 and 3 poet and the 4 scouts information, it feels more reasonable that both of these pieces of information are correct and this one is wrong. It seems, I mean, I can't get around that I don't see anywhere that a puka could be. I do not trust the druid. I want to kill the druid regardless. Druid could be... I think... As far as I can tell, between these 4 poets and maybe... So, like, the only other thing that I could think is, like, this baker is corrupted and it wasn't actually a poet. But... Well, I guess it could be... The thing is, this baker, I feel like it passed because it went to 6, but it's possible that it never actually passed, and this baker simply passed to the architect. And this is a shaman lying. I think that that's very, very possible. But if it's possible, here's the problem. Evils are not adjacent to each other. I mean, the problem is, where's the damn puka? The other thing I was thinking is a puka would not poison a doppelganger or a drunk. But I feel like that's the problem, is I feel like the baker's confirmed, which confirms its neighbors is not the puka. If the baka is not confirmed here, I apologize, but I don't see a way that the baker is not confirmed. Which confirms the two adjacent neighbors as not puka. Evils are not adjacent to each other. That doesn't mean anything. I actually cannot come up with anything here. This has been a 20-minute recording session on this one village. Oh, you've lost it. You've lost it. I was so cocky at the end of my last video, and then this one simply tore me apart. I want to say let's move on, but I can't do it. I cannot. I don't think you can pause in this game either, because I think if I were to leave this and then come back another time, which might be better for my brain. I mean, I could go downstairs and grab some water and then just come back and look at it with a fresh eye. But I think if I were to like exit out of the game, I would lose access to this puzzle. And that would be the worst thing in the world. Well, not the worst thing in the world. But I'm just like zoning out now. I'm not even really thinking. So, all right. Let's try to get back in the zone here. No evils adjacent to me. Well, we do think that that's wrong, right? We think that there are evils adjacent to the poet. I mean, I don't see why all of this. Everybody can be good. Let's just say everybody's good. The Druid. I don't understand something definitionally here, and that's the tricky part, is that somehow this always flips a villager. Unrevealed good villager, so it never changes a drunk. I guess that a demon can claim Baker? I think I've got it. Okay. So I'm just not sure where to start with this explanation. But this whole time I've been trying to figure out, how do you place a demon because we have too many poets? What if the answer is we have too many bakers? What if this is our drunk? And then one of these two is the puka on a roll that doesn't exist. And therefore the minion can double claim it. And you are corrupted, but because you're the drunk and you never passed, and both of these are evil, and the puka can claim this because it's not actually in play. It was always the drunk. Evils are adjacent to each other. And the shaman is not 2 cards away from closest evil, though. Puka is 1 card away from closest evil. This is the real info. So how do we marry that with the rest of the world? Well, we've got the drunk, and then we also have the doppelganger and the plague doctor. But the plague doctor is corrupting one of these 2 pieces of information. Or it has to be both of them. It has to be both of them, and this is the drunk. But how does that make sense? One of them is Plague Doctor corrupted. Has to specifically be this one. Is Plague Doctor corrupted. But then what is your excuse? Why are you telling me? Okay, here's a different idea. Puka. Shaman. Evils aren't adjacent to each other. I was thinking Puka, Shaman, Drunk. Maybe that's possible. But then this information's wrong. This information is right and sat next to a Puka. This information is right. No, is wrong and sat next to a Puka, so that's fine. But this information... Oh, so you're the doppelganger. You're the doppelganger. You're the drunk. You were created by Shaman. You are Plague Doctor corrupted. I think that is the first thing that I've come up with that actually fits. I need to go over it again, and the biggest reason that I need to go over it again, unfortunately, is we've put 3 outcasts on the board. Shoot. I'm going to go over it again, though. You're the Puka. You have corrupted info. You have correct info, which means that you have to be the doppelganger. You have to be the drunk. You are the shaman. That means this info is correct. This information is wrong. This information is correct. However, wait, you're the doppelganger, you're the shaman, and you're the drunk, and then we have the plague doctor info. We cannot have 3 outcasts, right? Yeah, it's shaman. Wow, I really thought I had something there, but I do think it almost, like, if there was a button I could hit for Vortox where just everything was wrong, that would almost be easier to solve with this board. Evils are not adjacent to each other. There cannot be a drunk and a doppelganger. And if there cannot be a drunk and a doppelganger alongside the plague doctor, I might need to start looking at plague doctor as evil worlds, but the problem is plague doctor can't be evil with the baker. I think that this baker shenanigan, baker drunk minion, feels like the most likely. Or, wait, maybe this could be right. Maybe this could be right. Minion, or demon minion. Nope. Because then this information is correct. So, and this information can't be correct if this is the puka, and, oh, but the puka, wait, this can't be the puka. This also cannot be the puka. Let's ignore this thing for a second because I want to go down that train of thought of why I thought this could be the puka and this could be the minion, because the baker could have actually made another baker and then it stopped. I don't even know where I was going for with that. Wow. I was doing so good 30 minutes ago, and now I've been staring at this one puzzle. I wonder if I just walked past it there though with the triple baker. That seems like a pretty good option. Now, if the plague doctor is fake, if the plague doctor's our minion, we could say maybe. I don't see how you place a puka right here. I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can place a puka next to the baker. That's something I talked about 20 minutes ago. I mean, the macro puzzle here is where do you place the puka? I've got to see if there's a way to place it among the poets. If this could be drunk. Actually, this could be, let's say this is the minion. And this is just real. And this is real. And it maybe corrupted something over here. Like, these two kind of seem like an evil pair. But the shaman. Doesn't the shaman confirm all of the poets is not puka? I'm not missing something with that, right? I believe the shaman literally confirms all of the poets is not puka. I believe the original baker is the closest potential thing to being puka. I think it might just have to be. I think it might just have to be. This could be the drunk, but we are going to have to marry all of this information later on. Is it possible that this is the puka? Could that actually be easier for me? If the puka is spreading less information around, because this is the puka, this is the drunk, and then this is the shaman. So if this is the drunk, no, we're going to have the plague doctor, corruption. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, but this can't be... This can't be the puka unless this is specifically minion and drunk. And then we just don't have a doppelganger. I just don't have room for a doppelganger. I'm starting to trust the druid. There are no outcasts. That is really curious info there. I think I might need to take a break. It's been 35 minutes. Maybe I just clear my mind for 20 minutes and then come back to the game. That's all I got for now. All right. I'm back. I haven't thought about this puzzle at all. I just watched a comedy video and then grabbed a glass of water. And one thing that I'm kind of hoping, is it really a puka? Is that right? Is it puka shaman? Dang it. Okay. I was hoping that maybe I had just gotten some wires crossed and it wasn't actually a puka, because I remember that being a pretty big hang up. That a puka is particularly tough to place because all of this information looks right. And then we also have something telling us that the puka is sat next to the closest evil. I think my gut would be, oh, no, I thought I had something. I was like, okay, what if this is the evil team? This is Plague Doctor corrupted. Because it can't be the drunk. Because we can't have a Plague Doctor and a drunk and a doppelganger. We could... No evils adjacent to me. So, okay, here's an interesting thing with these poets. I do think that all the poets are probably good, but is there a distinction? No. I was just thinking, could this baker actually be with one of the poets, and then this is an evil, and then, somewhere else is an evil? The problem with this board still remains the puka. Right? I really do not see a single place that can go. We can run over them all one by one, and why I think they can't be each of them. So this... is my most likely candidate. Let's start with number one. I don't think that any poets... Well... Hold on now. Hold on a gosh darn second. The claim was that we don't think any poets could be evil because there's 3 of them. There's 3 bakers. But the problem is, the information on these bakers is crazy. I'm just thinking if among... Wait. But the bakers aren't double claiming. Wait, no, the bakers... But we do need a doppelganger. Wait, no, we don't need a doppelganger. We do need a shaman created card. That's the problem with these poets, is we need a shaman created card. And if something is created by the shaman, that means it has to exist. The shaman's actually pretty terrible in that regard. There are 2 same villager roles in the current village. So the existence of 3 poets. No, it could be... Okay. It could be a drunk, a poet, and... this is it. It's a drunk, a poet... I'm sorry, a drunk, a demon, and a minion. It's a drunk, a demon, and a minion. It's a drunk, a demon, and a minion. And one of these is this is the doppelganger. No, wait, no. There is no doppelganger. This is the shaman. This was created by the shaman. And then one of these is created by the shaman, but it's Puzzle Master Drunk. Which means that you're right. This is the drunk. But it's puka, but it's fine. Because these two are evil. This is the puka. You're sat next to the shaman. You're lying. The puka is one away from the closest evil. The evil are adjacent to each other. You are the original baker. I think I did it. I think I just needed that break. Because I was not getting here. But this actually works, right? I need to double check this. You are the drunk. You are shaman created. You created another baker. That was flip 6 in seat 7. I was a poet. You turned a poet into a baker because you are a doppelganger, which means you actually had your ability. Then the bakerhood passed to seat 6, which I flipped over 9th. And you were actually previously a baker, but you're corrupted. You were flipped last, so you never had the chance to pass. I don't know why these are both showing a 9. 2, 3. Oh, because after I flipped, this was my 4th flip, but then I killed it. Yeah. This is the lie. Drunk. Shaman. Wait, I was a poet. Wait, I was a poet. How are you a poet? Could you be somehow the corrupted one? You was a poet is actually tearing me apart here. Because I could not have another poet. You could think you were poet because you're corrupted, but then you passed. Actually makes me feel like this is a minion. But then all of this is wrong. Shoot. Oh, I do think that this is right. No adjacent evils is wrong. So this checks out. This checks out. Literally everything checks out except for this weird baker stuff. And there could be corrupted bakers in it. The puka's right here, so you're fine. The puka's actually doing nothing because it's sat in between an outcast and a minion. And that's how we don't have that much visible puka poisoning. But then why were you a poet? Why? You could have been anything else. But the 4th poet really is a wrench in all of this. I have one shot. And I can build like half sort of things where it's basically anyone except for this thing. This is the only one. Wait, okay. I just thought of something else. This whole time I've been saying this can't be the puka, this can't be the puka, because that would poison the baker. If this baker is the doppelganger, then this could be the puka. That would poison you. Or you're lying and it poisoned... No, it couldn't have poisoned you. It couldn't have poisoned you. The Plague Doctor could have. Plague Doctor could have poisoned you, but you are the original baker, and that's what you're saying. Oh, right. No, you are the duplicant or the drunk. Can the drunk say they are the original baker? Maybe? Maybe the drunk can say this? I don't think so. Well, the thing is, I feel like the drunk could say, I am the original baker, because that's a lie. So maybe the drunk is allowed to say that? Is there a list of like what the drunk can and can't say? No. Here's the thing, though. For some reason, evil characters, previously at least, could never say, I am the original baker. This was never something evil things could do. Which is also partially why I cleared this. I kind of feel like I might need to just operate under the assumption that this has to be a good and sober baker, because there's no other way to, like, it's just like a confessor plus messing up some of your other characters. I feel like these are more likely drunk candidates, and I think I said this could be Plague Doctor corrupted. And this could be the minion, right? Minion lying about poet. At which point, this is correct info. This is not correct info. And this is not correct info. This is correct info again. I did like that idea that this could have been the... Oh, wait. No, I had this as the drunk but saying correct info. Okay, so that was wrong for a few reasons. The double negatives get tricky for me sometimes. That's like a triple negative. I was trying to do a corrupted, drunk, you know, whatever. That has the word not in it. Yeah, that was the triple. No evils adjacent to me. I'd like that. Shaman is 2 away. So we could... Oh! You're corrupted. You are corrupted. You were never a poet. You are corrupted. You are minion. Sat 2 away. You are somehow corrupted. We'll have to figure out that later. Which makes you good. So, is this an appropriate level of corruption? 2 things. No, it's not. It's not an Oh, wait. It's not an appropriate level of corruption because this would then have to contain our duplicate. Wait, no, this is 2 away. That's correct. This is the puka. Oh, is it this simple? This is the puka. This is the shaman. You were never the poet. You were something else. But you were corrupted. Oh, but this can't be the puka. The puka can't be... The puka can't be in a claim with this. Can we solve it with the Plague Doctor corruption? No, because if the puka's right here, this baker never gets to pass. I don't think any of these things work. If the puka is in 8, then the baker in 9 will never pass. This could work if the puka could be in slot 6, but it simply cannot be. Could the plague doctor... Could the plague doctor be the minion? Let's see that. Plague doctor minion, puka. Puka poisoned. Correct info. Well, this is the puka. No, wait. Yeah, this is the puka. So what? This is a puka person, but this can't be, like, the doppelganger can't double up on the demon. It could be the drunk, but then what has happened here? This can't also be the drunk. The baker having hopped. Yeah, I don't think that makes sense. Okay. Is there a world, though, where this is the evil team plus drunk, and then we have shaman plus doppelganger, and then we also have a plague doctor? I don't think so. That's just too many outcasts. I really hope I'm not just missing something simple, y'all. Wish we had this architect. I'm so invested into this now. Not, I mean, you guys are invested into it. But I just mean, like, I don't want to just guess. And I've talked myself out of every possible solve here. Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, and this is why I had to take the break. The break worked for a second, but I find myself just, like, staring at these things and thinking about just, like, not even related to any of this, you know? I'm not even making progress. I'm just like, oh, learn random info. That's interesting. There goes a little, you know, a little twinkle of the stars over here. And then I was looking at the Y's in the baker's hair. That's not going to help me solve the puzzle, though. Huh. So we said that this could be, like, what if this is actually just a baker line and this is the drunk plus the evil team? Why did I walk away from that? Because evils are not adjacent to each other. Right, so that's correct info. The only way you could get a correct info is with the doppelganger, but it's not what it is. You can't be plague doctor corrupted. How could you get correct? Because this is the puka. But if this is the puka, we already know. Well, we know this is not corrupted. Is that the thing that I swing wrong with the plague doctor? I guess this was solvable with a different plague doctor pick potentially. But if this is the puka, this is corrupted. And then, yeah, sure, this is just corrupted. Oh no, but we know this isn't corrupted. So yeah, the plague doctor did help us there. But also, like, how is this the... This could only be then the shaman, and this could only then be the drunk. Evils are not adjacent to each other. Sure. This information is right. This information is right. This information is right. Wait, and you were corrupted? By the plague doctor? Wait. Oh, no. This doesn't work because of the baker flip order. Maybe it does. No, I'm trying to think of like, okay, then one of these two was created by the shaman. Oh, wait. It could work. You were created by the shaman, and you are actually just a baker, but you're corrupted. You're corrupted and created by the shaman. Oh my gosh. You are corrupted, created by the shaman. You are the drunk. No, you're not. Yes, you are. You are the drunk. You have to be the drunk. You cannot be a townsfolk. You have to be the drunk. You're the plague doctor. There is no doppelganger. You are the baker, created by the shaman, and you're corrupted. I think we've done it. This might be almost an hour-long video on a single village. I think I finally cracked it. Why are these both poisoned, though? Because you are the drunk. You are the puka. You are the drunk. You are the puka. You are the shaman. Original baker, yes. Druid, yes. Shaman created baker, corrupted by the plague doctor. You passed here. You always were a baker. I'm going to make a kill. I'm going to make a kill. I'm going to be very, very disappointed if I sunk this much time into this village and did not solve it. But I have probably exhausted every other possible option. The thing is, there's no hedge. There's no, like, oh, this could be true or this could be true. It's just like, I'm all in here. I've already made my kill. Wait, no. Shoot. Puka is one away from the closest evil. That's true. Puka is one away from the closest evil. And that would actually be true with this setup. Yet you're puka poisoned. So wait a minute. So wait, didn't we talk about something like this earlier? Puka sat between the drunk and the shaman. I thought I talked myself out of this setup earlier, but I think I wasn't realizing exactly how this could work before. But I think that this does work. I was just slightly off, but I just want to double check everything here. First, we have the drunk, which is getting wrong information. This is wrong, right? Evils are not adjacent to each other. There's a triple negative. Evils are not adjacent to each other. They are adjacent to each other. So it's wrong information, which is what a drunk should have. Evils are not adjacent to each other. Yes. Okay. No evils adjacent to me. That is wrong because you're evil and there's another evil sat next to you. Shaman is 2 cards away from the closest evil. That is wrong because you're a lying evil. Puka is 1 away from the closest evil. That is correct. Number 2 is not corrupted. Right. We think our corruption is here, which is why the original baker is claiming that they were a poet. I was an architect. You just were. That is just real. You got turned into a baker, though, unfortunately. You were not a poet. That was very confusing. Bad. You were a baker. You got corrupted. I don't blame you. You got corrupted, though. Admit it. No outcasts. Not an outcast. Not an outcast. Not an outcast. It fits. You are the original baker. Let's kill the puka first. Now, let's take out this damn shaman. Wow. That was like so incredibly difficult. We had the exact solve. This was the corrupted baker. It was actually a baker. It just got corrupted by the plague doctor. This was the drunk blending in with the shaman and puka. That was the real scout. Sorry, buddy. That was a long time ago. Hopefully you forgive me, and hopefully this was an entertaining watch. This is, yeah, like I said, probably about an hour-long video on a single village, but I am happy that we got it done. As you could probably tell, that is just, it's like a weight off my shoulders. I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to edit this video down. I mean, I kind of feel like I need to content-wise. Maybe I could attach a timer so you can see how long this took me. Plus, the 15, 20, 30-minute break I took. But wow, that was an incredibly difficult village. And now I'm going to go to bed. That is it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.